The Crash Course Live is presented by Smash It Demolition Derbies and the 2016 Bash for Cash. Demo Derby Masters. Winter Slam 2016. Ultimate Derby and Blizzard Bash and Capital City Carnage. Scioppa Racing and ScioppaRacing.com. Reckless Abandon Derby Apparel at RecklessAbandonGear.com. And Derby Inc. Magazine. Live it, breathe it, be it, Derby Inc. This is the Crash Course Demolition Derby podcast, recorded live at the FingerLakes1.com studios in downtown Seneca Falls, New York. And now your host, Chris Marquardt.
Good afternoon, good evening, welcome to episode number 125. We are now closing...
126.
Is it 126?
Yeah, because
I even went through and checked.
No, you're right. It was Pierre Dagenais last week. So
Pierre Dagenais, yes.
It's 125.
Right, yeah.
Doug Hoffman, the late Doug Hoffman.
Doug Hoffman, 60 over race is coming up real soon. From,
I was last weekend.
Was it?
They would be on top of things, motorsports guy.
Hey. It's been a long time since I've been to a circle track. They don't even let me in the door anymore. One of those things. So what were we talking about anyway? Oh, right, the Crash Course. It's starting right now. Yes.
We're good.
We are now, if you count just studio episodes, we are third in the ranking in Finger Lakes 155 is the next threshold, which will move us up to second place, and then 31st lap is at 195, so they're ahead by, or 192, something like that. So they're up by about 40, so all we have to do is another 70 shows, and we'll
get that this year then.
Most likely, yeah, because most likely. But I'm talking just studio episodes. That doesn't count the stuff at large. I mean, you could knock another 30 episodes off right just by counting the stuff that we do on the field.
No kidding.
You already got your bags packed? We got some traveling to do in less than a month.
Getting ready.
It's right around the corner. Had a couple of talks with...
I'm just going to take laundry detergent and backpack of clothes.
That's awesome. That's great.
Take a change of clothes.
Yeah.
Laundry detergent.
Just wear them in the shower and scrub.
Perfect.
It's all good in the hood.
I've seen you do that before.
No, you haven't.
Yes.
We don't room together.
It's true. I stay with Josh.
Yeah.
Josh isn't here this week. He's disappointed. Big time disappointed because he just saw the post on Facebook.
About who we're talking to?
Oh, Mike
Yep.
Brown.
We're going to be talking with Mike Brown in the second half of the show. Looking forward to that conversation. It's going to be a good time. And also talking first here in the next few minutes, we'll get in touch with Bernard Huxley with Full Throttle Racing, FTR. Dallas Manthe posted an FTR LOL post. And I'm not sure if Dallas is a local guy or if there's a Full Throttle Racing elsewhere. But this is the New York-based Full Throttle Racing. Justin Hartman and Bernard Huxley working together to put on that show May the 14th. We'll be talking to those guys. But a couple orders of business first. The Fantasy League for Capital Carnage is open and active. It was launched at roughly 12:30 this morning. And when I left the house today, we already had 63 teams in. And while I was setting the show up, we've had another 15 email alerts come in. So
Wow.
that's moving quickly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Moving at a rapid clip. And this one's going to be much, much tougher. We'll get into the entry list a little bit deeper as the show goes on. But you've got a team of 4 drivers, and the points are going to be paid out. The 2 that qualify are going to get 10 points out of the heats, and there's going to be 8 heats of 10. And then it goes 8, 7, 6 down to 1. And then the tiebreakers are only 2 of the other divisions. Because, honestly, with the entry list, it is a crapshoot. I mean, it is going to be very, very difficult to pick the winner of Capital City Carnage. So, Fantasy League is out there. It's going to run through the 27th of April. I'm going to cut it off before we leave. I might even back that up a day or two, judging on how fast the.
I think you should do it right up to the first heat goes.
I think you're an idiot.
I mean, all you gotta do is just type in the computer. It's easy.
Shut it down in the airport.
Yeah, there you go.
We did that. Remember we did
We've
that?
just been going. I mean, everybody could be getting a flight delay.
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
What are you doing?
Last time we left Topeka, it took us 14 hours to get home.
Did.
We covered America that day.
Yeah, we saw.
Yeah.
We saw a lot.
Covered America.
All we were missing is going to
West Coast.
Yeah.
We were in Texas, and I think we were in Minnesota or Chicago.
Chicago. We started in Missouri.
That's right.
Yep.
Yep.
And then we went to Texas. Then we went to Illinois. Then we Syracuse.
You probably could have went to the West Coast if it would have said bomb or something.
Oh, yeah, it's just what we needed that weekend.
No. Horrible idea.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
Horrible idea.
All I remember is at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, somebody goes, "Hey, our flight's our flight is canceled. Chris is working on it. I said, oh, no, that isn't good.
Yeah.
We tried flying out that night. And it just didn't work. But we all got home safe.
Wasn't happening.
No.
Terror alert.
So we went and wherever we ate, and
Longhorn
had a fat prime rib.
that you threw most of it away.
I did not.
You cut the rind off the top.
Fat and gristle. I told you could have ate it. It was gluten free.
Next time you order, you're going to order it gluten free, and I'll eat all that because that's probably going to be the first thing that I ate in 6 days.
You probably like hot dogs too.
Hot dogs?
They're like lips and assholes put together.
Doesn't matter.
As long as there's no gluten in it, Chris will eat it.
Put it on the grill.
Okay. Chicken feet.
Get it.
Put a little cardboard in there. In there to flavor it, and good to go.
Eating chicken feet and hot dogs will give you kidney stones.
You don't want none of that.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, one of these days, I'm going to start the stream 15 minutes early.
Yeah,
and
just
not
once.
tell you. Not tell you guys.
Just once.
Just so that all those conversations can spill onto the web and people can realize what goes on when these cameras aren't on.
You're the most nervous about that. We don't care.
I am. I am terrified that it's going to start early. Terrified.
We don't care.
Because you don't care. That's why I get the most nervous. It's exactly why I get the most nervous.
We do have to welcome Ben back. He's been gone for a couple weeks, 3 weeks, and
4.
Had
Is it
some
4?
had some stones working in there, but he's got them all flushed
I was
out.
a stone collector for a while, but anybody's ever had them feels my pain.
Literally.
If not, everybody else can kiss my ass because it kills.
And as Chris said earlier, if Ben says it hurts, it's gotta hurt.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's very true. But I'm glad to see that Ben is feeling better and
You quit talking bad about him now.
he's here.
Yeah, I was feeling good enough last week to push Josh's car up and down the ramp at the Auburn Mall.
Well, that was nice of you.
Down the ramp. Because
Yeah.
we ended up realizing after Ben so clearly stated, you guys are idiots if you think you're pushing it up a 10% grade or whatever it was.
Yeah.
He is the brains of the operation.
He eloquently
went to
stood
Bass
there.
Pro and got the electric
Bad boy
cart.
buggies.
Nice.
Presented by the World Finals sponsor.
Absolutely.
They brought an electric one. He goes, we can drive this indoors because it doesn't give out any exhaust. I don't care if it gives off exhaust or not, but whatever's going to tow this up that ramp is what we're using now.
My suggestion next year is bring one with a motor.
Yeah, fire it up and drive
Once
it.
it's over, what are they going to do? Tell you to leave?
Absolutely.
I'm headed that way.
Do you have one with a motor ready to go?
Do I?
Yeah.
No.
By then? I mean, by next February? will you-
Possibly.
All right.
See
We'll
how
talk
things
more
work
about
out.
It might just be a lawn ornament.
this. That's fine.
You want to walk there? Go ahead. Call me when you're there.
Bernard Huxley joining us here on the hotline. Bernard, man, thanks for coming in and hanging out with us and tell us a little bit about the Spring Showdown coming up at the Boonville Oneida Fairgrounds.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
No problem, man. Tell us a little bit about how the show came to be. This is a new event for this year. It's a new offering in New York.
I guess it all really started when we went to King of the Old School. We didn't really ever see respect like we saw there, especially from, Decker even shaking our hands. And then we went to where this show is at the Boonville Fair, and one of our guys won it. And they didn't really even show us any respect when we won. And I mean, they put on 2 shows a day there with 6,000, 6,500 people watching, and
Wow.
they don't want to pay you. So we just decided that why don't we just do it ourselves?
And you guys,
Is this Boonville?
It started from there, really.
yep. This is at. It's at the. Here, we'll put it up here so everybody can see it. Whoops. Need to get this out of there.
Oneida County Fairgrounds.
Yep.
Boonville, New York.
I don't know how
That's
to
home
get
of
that.
Gravedigger.
There we go.
Remember Gravedigger?
Oh, yeah.
Which grave
Yeah,
digger?
I remember him.
Gravedigger from years ago.
Oh, yeah. Ben and I would go run. Well, a bunch of us wouldn't run, but we'd go run Utica Rome or Fulton or Brewerton. And there was a guy that always painted his car like the Gravedigger. He was the Gravedigger.
Everybody had to watch out for him. Well, except for us.
We found him laying underneath. I dragged him out from underneath Ben's car once at Utica Rome. The only thing was sticking out was his legs. And I went, Ben, grabbed the dude by the foot and yanked him right out from underneath the car. Yeah, he was pretty surprised.
We had a bet going with Richie because he always ran dual quads. He had dual quad intake on it. And Richie tried to knock carburetors off his intake.
Yeah.
Really?
I think he was the one year that Brett hit with that 65 full framer, got sideways at Burton, and
Yeah.
Brett hit him in the passenger door, and the bottom of the passenger door was touching the driver's
No,
seat.
that wasn't Gravedigger. That was Batman.
Oh, it was Batman?
Yeah, it was Batman.
I knew it was one of those superheroes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't
Yeah,
even
we
know who Chris-
interrupted. I wanted to tangent. Go ahead. Sorry about that.
The Batman car, or I believe they're brothers or something like that, or they're teammates. I don't remember. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, they were.
He got euchred.
Yeah, one shot drunk.
Not to be confused with Mike Klinger, who's also called Gravedigger.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I've never seen a word on his car other than his number plate usually.
When you go to some of the J&J shows out in Western Pennsylvania, some of the smaller ones, that's all they call them, is that.
Yeah,
Really?
they paint all the names on their cars. Yeah.
They don't.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's just radical. It's not like he comes with a car that's.
No, I know.
painted
I
up to
just had never
emulate
seen it.
Gravedigger. It's just because he goes there and puts everybody else in
Yeah.
on the trailer.
Yeah, he does. Klinger's pretty good at that.
He does a nice job at that.
Yeah.
And when did Gravedigger become a superhero? Batman's a superhero. I remember that.
I don't know, right? Monster trucks.
Yeah.
Brian, you're so lost.
I am.
But that sounds like a hell of a deal up there.
Yeah,
you guys
absolutely.
you guys are definitely. That's what it's coming to. You know, guys, you don't want to treat your drivers right. We're going to take you over and we're going to show you how it's done.
Absolutely.
You know.
Yeah, that was our thoughts on it. I mean, I guess I really only ran local fairs and then Brookfield and Morris, and then doesn't seem like you really get much respect anywhere. Then like I said, when we went to King of the Old School and when we were out in Massachusetts for that team show, it just seemed like everybody had a little more respect for the drivers, and we just didn't like it after we saw what it could be.
Yep.
Well, I think Demolition Derby is beginning to follow a trend that we've seen in motorsports for the last 7-8 years or so, where more and more drivers, active or retired, are getting involved in the promotion side of it because they've got that inside track. They've got the knowledge that the promoter doesn't know that they don't have. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that certainly does add a particular element, and it's led to success for circle track guys all over the place. I mean, there's no reason that Dwayne Howard is coming up to Albany, Saratoga, ever,
Yeah.
for anything, other
About
than
the
the
big
fact
show.
other than the fact that Brett Hearn is the guy that put the show on.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's certainly has carried some weight in the circle track stuff. Doug Hoffman, you know, he was doing quite a bit of promoting with I think it was Mahoning Valley.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things that Josh touched on, you know, when we first started doing this, was how well, you know, people were getting treated. When we got to the big shows, I mean, that was one of the things that really, all of us, I mean, you know.
Well, that's what separates it. I mean, it separates the quote unquote county fairs with these other standalone events, and that's why they have the cars, and that's like King's Old School. King's Old School, man, that's a standalone event. You know, like he is talking, he knows firsthand. He knows firsthand about Morris. You know, Brookfield. It's easily they can pay more money, easily, and treat people a lot better, and and that's where. You know, that's why I stepped away. You know, shit wasn't going the way that I wanted to go.
Absolutely.
In the direction I wanted to go. So, you know,
Yep.
props to you, man. That's more people have to do that.
And you can look at you talked about King's Old School. You looked at Bo Lockwood shows, which followed that same trend again. It was run by drivers.
Aaron Kasai and Mike Rice this year in Bath.
Yep. Yep. Another good example. JPG Towing taking over the shows in Woodstock down in Virginia.
Yeah.
Jason drove forever, and it's
Another
gone.
one is isn't Firster? Firster's got
Yeah,
something to do with the Hot Wild there.
Yep.
He's got involved with that.
Yep.
So how's planning been? What have we learned so far about what it takes to put together a demolition derby that you didn't expect?
I learned it's a lot more work than I ever thought of it being.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, I always sent Decker messages all the time, and I'm like, man, this guy's got to be getting sick of it. But now I realize why I thought he was getting sick of it. But if you
'Cause you
can't
get
answer
sick
the
of it?
questions, then you're not going to get the respect right there too. I mean, but it's a lot more work than any of us had thought of. That's for sure. But we get the help from Gully and from you, and none of that doesn't go unnoticed. I just can't. I can't believe how much work it actually is. I mean, it's crazy.
And then when you look at that, what Bernard just talked about, imagine doing 42 shows like Tim Clark.
Yeah, those guys are insane.
Well, too. I mean,
Couldn't even imagine.
Do you think some of it is because this is your breakthrough year? This is your
First year.
Yeah, your first time doing it. I mean, do you think maybe a lot of this is after this year you're over the hump, and then next year will be easier, and the year after easier?
I'm sure it'll be easier. I mean, we definitely have a learning curve that we have to get over.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's still work.
Right. Oh yeah.
But
Nope.
I mean, I think you're right. A lot of it is our learning curve. It's our first one. I mean, a lot of other stuff in our following years after this one. I mean, they'll just go along with the paces. But
right.
For the first year, it's still more than I expected. But worth it in tenfold.
Oh, for sure.
But I think it's an incremental thing. Because the more you do this, you've got your core drivers that are going to become more familiar with it. You're not going to get as many questions from them, but you're going to get more outside people that are interested in it. So you're still going to have the same volume of questions from people that aren't familiar with it. They're going to move in.
Right.
Couple quick notes here just to follow up on some information. John King, listening at home, thanks for listening. Bob Simpson was Gravedigger. And going back into Ben's past, Ben, I just want to get this on you. Ben at Utica Rome, I ran with Gravedigger, and I showed up at Utica Rome solo by myself. I asked Gravedigger to side with me, and it was Ben and company that peeled the doors off both sides of my car. Thanks, Todd Height, for the message. You got
Todd Height, he came up to me. Yeah, he's like, you literally ran over top of the front of my car.
Todd's going through some stuff at home. He blew tendons out of his ankle and his knee.
Ooh.
So he's got to have a lot of surgery. He's going to be on the fence for a while.
A long time.
A while. But what we're trying to do is figure out if we can find somebody who's got a go-kart, and we'll drag Todd with us everywhere. And he can then, because he can only be in a golf cart. He can't walk around. So we'll be able to put the equipment on the golf cart and take it from where we park up to the stage.
Yeah, you're going to use his handicap.
No, I'd never said anything about taking his handicap. Never.
Yeah.
Never. But I mean, he could chauffeur Josh around. Josh could sit in the passenger seat of a golf cart and just sit there and wave like a beauty queen. You know
That's
what I mean?
exactly what Josh Decker needs.
How great would that be for Josh?
That would be terrific.
That doesn't seem.
Yeah. They could have races with Big Wayne.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
There would be nothing left. Races, because the site was called Derby's Races.
No.
No, races.
No.
Like
You'd be
races, see
racing
which
with
is
them.
faster.
No, I'm explaining to you that it wouldn't be. There would be pieces of fiberglass all over the place.
I don't think Todd would be happy if they derbied his golf cart.
No, you don't think so?
I don't think. Yeah,
Frown on.
probably.
I guess I haven't seen any of the. I haven't really seen any of the rules or nothing like that. I mean, this what you're doing is are you doing separate classes or one class like King's Old School or?
Well, do you want to run through? You want to run through your payouts and stuff now, and we can jump from there, and then Burner, you can talk a little bit about what your rules are going to be. The show's going to be May the 14th. Full size division is going to be 1250 to win, 500 for second, 300 for third. Compact 1000 to win, 300 for second, 100 for a third. Only $15 for the pit passes, and that's I think that's a pretty good deal all around. And then Bernard, man, take it from here on what you're doing with your rules.
Our rules they're pretty well stocked. V8s and compacts basically the same rules. The only real difference is the V8s you have to remove your fuel tanks. If it's compacts, if it's in front of the rear axle, they're okay to stay. Mm-hmm. Bumpers can be welded, minimum or maximum 6 inches on your shocks. You can run your cages. Trucks is a little different. You can run passengers, loaded bumpers, homemade bumpers, nothing over 8 inches. But basically stock. If you have any questions, I mean, you can just email us or get on our page. We can email you the rules. That's about it. It's nothing real crazy on the rules, but way better than our county fair where we can't even move our gas tank or put a bumper on the car.
Wow, that sucks.
Huh.
I mean, that was another big thing. For me personally, we watched the heat last year where a guy won the V8 class with a Vic, hitting with his back bumper half, or hitting with his back, and the fuel tank was right there. I mean, you could see the gas coming out of the tank, and nobody stopped it. I mean, that's just not safe.
No, not at all.
Ben, you're an inspector. You've inspected all over the place, and most of the shows that you've been involved with, the gas tanks do get moved and stuff. But when you hear about a show that says that the gas tank, and especially in the V8 class, has to stay in the stock position, what's your thoughts? I mean, what's your immediate reaction?
Ignorant.
I like the state fair, you can't move your gas tank. I see bigger fires at the state fair than I've ever seen.
Absolutely. Yep.
I just don't understand why anybody would want to. I've ran, don't get me wrong, I run compacts a lot, and I leave the gas tank but even last year I had alumina, and everybody knows how alumina's ass end is. There goes your gas tank. I'd rather be able to move it inside. I mean, it took us 5 years to get a battery inside at our show. The only reason why they allowed that is because some cars, the battery's inside.
Yeah.
But they're against it. We actually had to have a meeting with the fire department because they didn't like the idea of having the gas tank inside because that's just what they're used to.
Yeah, they're quick to always. I mean, I'll quote J&M. It's the gas tanks are safer underneath the car. Why would you want it inside? Well, yeah, automobiles are designed to drive down the road. They're not designed from the factory to smash each other to oblivion, and that's why they put the gas tanks there. And then they want to throw in, well, NASCAR's is underneath the back. Well, also NASCAR has fuel cells that
with,
for
Kevlar
rupture and everything else.
and
Liners and bladders and tubular frames.
When promoters are hardcore set, is a gas tank's got to stay under because it's safer. That's just pure ignorance. I mean, it's ignorance to the demolition derby world, to the sport. It's just an accident waiting to happen. And like you said, there's been such humongous fires at the state fair over the years that it's like you're lucky somebody didn't get cooked like a French fry.
Absolutely.
In their ignorance to that too is they try to put the fire out.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you yank the guy out of the car at first. Well, you got to turn the fucking key off. His electric fuel pump. So it's like it's just the ignorance of it. I mean, it gets me pissed off when I hear people are still doing that shit.
Well, that's the thing. I mean,
ridiculous.
we used to run Shermansburg, and up there, you'd go up there, and you'd smell the gas in a car. You'd be driving, and you'd look,
be out
and
on
there's
the track.
splashing next to you, and you're like,
we'd be out on a track running, and you hit somebody, you back away, and you see it just sloshing out from the back of the car, and you're pointing to them, and they're looking at you like, well, what? Keep going. He's still running. Well, he's going to be a freaking shish kebab in about 5 minutes.
Yep.
But no, it's stupid.
Honestly, I think a lot of places do it. I won't mention names, but I think a lot of places do it because they think it'll get the derby over with quicker. Because you're going to have fuel system problems.
So everybody catches on fire, and you're going to the freaking burn unit.
Well, they're going to run out of gas. They're going to, get a brake line. They're going to break factory line, stuff like that. Because, there's a lot of people that are just in derby promotion to just make themselves money. They're not in
Trumansburg for years. Well, we got a gas tank in the back, but we got a freaking a boat tank underneath the seat on the passenger side.
Or a battery.
Sneak
that by on occasion.
Cut the foam out.
Stranger things have happened.
Well, yeah, that's
I can't
crazy.
even remember who was telling the story. I almost want to say maybe it was a Pete Hansen story. He had 2 extra batteries underneath the front seat, and you weren't allowed to move the battery. So the battery started. He started the car, unhooked what looked like the battery cables underneath the hood, and took the battery out and set it on the ground and drove out onto the track. And everybody was like,
that year at Burt or Fulton. I had the battery underneath the seat.
Yep. Was John King promoting that at that time? There you go, John.
The first time I went to Shermansburg, I said something to my dad. I'm like, Dad, this, that's stupid. Why you got to do that? And I said, that's the rules. All right. Well, I went to school or work, or it must have been work. And I came home and he goes, I got an idea. And I went in and that's what he'd done is he'd taken it and cut the seat, pulled the cover back, pulled everything out of the passenger seat, ran it up through, stitched it back so he couldn't tell, put the dummy one up front and ran it like that.
Rock and roll.
That was
I did that at State Fair for a couple of years. I did that at State Fair.
Got to get around rules.
And then on the flip side, if you look at where Derby has come to, you look at the Lincoln that, and I think he does. I think Rick Clark does this with his Crown Vics too. That he's taken to Sandusky a couple times, which has 2 gigantic batteries mounted off the dash bar, even with his head. And there's a toggle switch on the back that if he gets in the jam, just flips it over and it switches to the other current, just like the NASCAR stuff.
Yep. Rick has some pretty cool stuff in his cars. Pretty cool stuff.
But man, the stands up there. I've never been there.
No.
Are they covered stands too?
The one side of the track is covered. Yeah.
Man, that's
awesome.
yeah. I mean, that's a lot.
I mean, we could probably get 1,800 to 2,000 covered.
right.
And I mean, you got some on the because it's kind of like a racetrack.
Yep.
Yeah.
On the one corner, it's not covered, and then on the announcer side, which we're going to use just for pit pass side, none of that's covered. That's about another 750 people. We can get like 3,500 in there, but
Wow.
around 1,800 to 2,000 are covered.
That's cool.
Wow.
Good.
And you figured you had like 6,000 people there last year?
2 shows.
Well,
Two
they run
shows.
2 shows. They run a 1 o'clock show and a 6 o'clock show.
Okay.
So it was full.
And, I mean, it's standing room only for the evening derby. I mean, they're asking you to move over. I mean, they're pushing 6,000 people in there in one day.
That's
At
awesome.
$15 a pop to get on the stands, and you got to pay for the afternoon and the evening.
Wow.
Somebody
Yep,
made some
people,
money.
People are doing throwing numbers in their head, and it's like, yeah. And what were they paying before?
They've never really paid that well. I mean, I think you get like 40% of your heat, and then the feature, which Robert Hartman won this year, it was $400 for the feature.
Woo!
$400 to win the feature, huh?
To win the feature,
Wow.
Wow.
$400 and like a 18-inch trophy.
Wow, that is insanity.
Yeah. That
And
gives.
I mean, just do the math.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
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 Pull out the calculators.
Yeah.
First year that we went down to Woodstock, I couldn't believe it that they paid 321. 300, 200, 100.
Really? Holy shit.
Them days are over.
Yeah.
If you don't
Yeah.
pay more, this is a prime example. And people aren't stupid. It don't take a rocket scientist to do them numbers. And if you're going to pay out like that, be ready for the following year. You're going to have a foot up your ass, and you're not going to be there no more.
Yeah.
The thing is
that's
that
just
that wasn't the case in Woodstock. They still drew insane cars, and it wasn't until like the last 2 years where information started getting around, and they realized how miserable it was that things really changed. And then when it changed, it changed.
Yeah.
And now that Jason and Penny Shipe are in there, I mean, it's changed dramatically. They're paying out much, much better. Their fall show pays $4,000 to win now compared to what there wasn't a fall show before.
Don't get me wrong. I think a lot of these, like I think Virginia, a prime example. I mean, I haven't been there yet, but the way it sounds is a lot of these grassroots ones. I call it grassroots, not downplaying or anything, but grassroots ones. It's bragging rights.
Yeah.
They could give a flying shit if they get money. Give me a trophy. Give me a trophy, and yeah, I kicked your ass last week. And come back next year and try to get it. And you know, and that type of rivalry is awesome. And that's what drives everybody. The money part of it, people can say the money's ruining it, but in a way, it's not. I mean, you're spending thousands of dollars putting cars together.
It's helping return on some of your investments, that's for sure.
Well, it's helping your home life too. It's like, yeah, honey, I just spent $8,000 building a car. And geez, I could win $30,000 though. Look at the big picture.
Oh yeah.
But you come home with like you're in a hole, about, $700-800. Did you win? No, I got my ass kicked. Something stupid broke, but we had a good time.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
I'll replace that next year.
Yep. But I'm going back next year. It's $30,000.
Absolutely.
How often is it that you have been honest about? Because I assume that your wife doesn't watch this show. Brian, I think you're in the same boat. How often is it that you've been honest with what you've paid for anything that you've had for a
Never.
derby car? Or
Never.
Once. No. Once.
Never.
Once. I'm going to take that back. Once. And you always see them things flashing up on Facebook and everything else.
If my wife
my worst nightmare is if I ever die, my wife is going to sell everything for what I told her it cost. And we've everybody, and I don't care. I mean, there's very few people that I shouldn't say very few. There is people that they're 100% honest about it, but a large majority of people are like, "Honey, look at the car I got for $250." Well, yeah, you add another $800-900 to it, But
You did spend $250 on
yeah, I
it.
did spend $250.
Yeah, but see, I do mine different too. I mean, I've always tried to like before we started this show.
Wait, this ought to be good.
No, before we started this show, like I would take money out of my tax return and I would spend that on Derby stuff, and then I would use a little bit of tax return money with a scrap from the car from the year before, and then I would. But since we've been doing this, we've been traveling a little bit. We make a little bit of money doing it. So the little bit of money I make, that's what I put towards my Derby stuff.
What deals are you cutting that you're making a little bit of money doing this that I don't know about?
Well,
I
can't tell
just
you.
flat out got told I got cleared by the doctor, and I didn't get cleared at home. So that's what I got told.
uh-oh. Well,
Can't you get a doctor's note then?
Well, I did say that. I says, well, the doctor told me. She goes, no, he didn't. I'm like, well, must be I was hearing things when he told me I could. But, but
Can't you just look straight in the eyes and say, the doctor is a doctor and you're my wife. He's obviously smarter than you. And,
then I would have less money than what I have now. About 50,
about half.
About 50%.
yeah, no doubt.
No, it's what, like I said, I enjoy building cars more than anything else. I mean, I did that for the last. I really didn't run that much the last 4 years.
Yeah.
And I got more enjoyment on building cars and watching people smash the shit I built, and be successful with it. So
I feel the same way about doing door wraps and roof signs. I don't have to have one on a car. I can just look at yours when you do well.
Got mine designed yet?
No.
That's awesome. Got 6 for Decker, but none for me.
He's got more than 6.
Well,
did you see his driveway picture?
Yeah.
You only got like 12 cars lined in the driveway.
Yeah, my dad hates derby cars.
so you get them lined up.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Makes his dad park out of the street because there's no.
Well, at least nothing slid into a tree at his house this time.
It's true. It's true. So let's recap this one more time. FTR Spring Showdown. They've got an event on Facebook. You can find out more about them right there on Facebook. Full Throttle Motorsports on Facebook. They've got a team page as well. You can find Bernard Huxley. You can find Justin Hartman online. There's a recap of the information on the show at the Boonville Oneida County Fairgrounds in Boonville, New York. The Spring Showdown is going to be May the 14th. Full size, $1,250 to win, $500, $200, second and third. Compacts, $1,000 to win, $300 for second, $100 for third. $15 a person to get into the pits. About 2,000 seats worth of covered grandstand. So if you want to get out of the sun, hopefully May the 14th is an ultra hot day and everybody wants to go hang out. And otherwise, there's plenty of room for everybody and their brother if you want to go check out.
Isn't that your one weekend off in May?
No. We're in Utah that weekend.
Oh, I thought Utah was the first week.
No. The first week is Crossroads.
Oh.
Maybe. No, yeah, it's Crossroads. I got me all confused because the end of April, yeah. It's Capital, City Carnage, Crossroads, May Mania.
Bash for cash.
A week after that, yep.
You got to find somewhere to go that 1 week.
Don't do that. Don't do that. You know where I need to
You'll
go?
be driving back from Utah.
Yeah.
Because if I say any trigger words in the airport, we won't be able to get on an airplane.
I'll be riding with Ben.
I'm gonna reload some shotgun shells before we go to Utah, so when they swap my hands.
I put them in a Ziploc bag. No.
Mix up some flow.
No,
You don't have a recipe for C4 on the internet.
What?
Just you and Ben. That's going to be a nice trip. He's going to have you so
Well,
nervous.
Ben's flying out a day ahead.
Yeah, but coming back, it's going to be
I'm
you
gonna
and him.
I'm gonna send a bag with him because we got to take all the equipment and stuff out there. He'll take a bag. I'll take a bag. I think we can condense everything down into 2 bags.
So you're really...
I think so.
If not, you're going to look funny carrying 7 bags by yourself.
I'm not going to be able to. I'm going to have to be making trips back and forth.
That means I'm in charge of the rental car.
Nope. I got to tell you about that. You're not in charge of the rental car. It's already been squared away.
Limo picking you up.
Figures.
Something like that.
Decker thought he was important. I guess we know.
Colo-mobile.
There you go.
Take your pick.
2016
on
Dodge
here.
Ram.
He owns restaurants, don't he?
Yes.
Burger King.
Burger King?
Yep. You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah.
It's Burger King.
Yeah.
He's on the commercials. No wonder he looks familiar.
He's got a bunch of cars that are available. I believe one of them, if we wanted, is an Imperial. You can drive that home from the airport. I said, it's a bad idea for Ben because he'd be hitting everything on the highway from the airport, too.
That's
The
awesome.
rage I got into Minnesota going back in the parking garage. Imagine that,
Oh,
68
yeah.
Imperial.
Yeah, that
Yup.
second loop we had to take, that was bad.
Yep.
But well, I think this is the sign of good things to come for
Absolutely.
you guys at FTR. I hope you do well with it. I'm looking forward to
Definitely.
more
Yeah,
feedback on it. We'll get more information from you as well as we get a little bit closer. We'll talk a little bit if you guys are going to make it available. The entry list, who's coming, who's looking to bring what, and I know you got a lot of support here locally from our neck of the woods. There's people that are already talking about looking
talking
for
about
something to
going.
do in May.
Yeah,
So
definitely,
there's
definitely going to be a good show.
there's guys that are looking to travel from Central New York up there.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be a great time. And again, I want to thank you guys for all your help. I mean, all the support. I mean, it doesn't go unnoticed, and we just want to make sure you guys know that.
We're happy to help. The
Absolutely.
event shirts, pre-order for the event shirts is out there. The links were shared around
Yeah, I
last
saw
night.
that. I
and
saw
stuff.
that last
Yep.
night. That's very cool.
Yep.
Very nice shirts.
Yeah, they look great.
So those guys are.
Do you know the guy that did that, or
I could probably get them called if you need something.
I just wanted?
Okay.
I didn't.
I had it to do. Justin messaged me last night and he said, "Are you going to put this stuff up?" I said, "It's Easter Sunday. I've got a to-do list of about 15 things. Your stuff is going to get done. Just give me a little bit of time." And I think it was about 11 o'clock where those links went up, and because it was in the midst of all that, we were putting the
Now you're
finishing
off from
touches
school
on.
this week, right?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
you don't have to sleep at all this week.
And we've got 2 kids home that aren't feeling the best, so they're going to bed early. I'm working until 2 or 3 in the morning. It's wonderful.
Beautiful.
I've got all week long. I got magazines that are getting done, subscription stuff that's
I haven't
getting
got like the last 4 issues of that. I don't
because
wanna,
my kid keeps taking them.
As long as Alan's getting them, I'm okay with that.
All you need to do is get free delivery from the liquor store.
Yeah, there you go.
What?
For you, for when you're
No.
working till 3 o'clock in the morning.
No, I can't do both.
Since when?
I can't do I'm getting old. I can't do the graphic stuff, and
I like the hair. I mean, that's like a. I don't know
know.
what you'd call that today,
Yeah.
but that's
I got to get that cleaned
something.
up. Walked out of the house without a hat today. I don't know how it happened.
Yeah.
Oh well, what are you gonna do?
Okay.
Maybe we'll run through some stuff and we'll come back. I gotta get Mike Brown on the phone. We're already running a little bit late. I think we're gonna talk to Elvis Thumb. He's got some stuff that he wants to touch base on.
Did you see
Yeah.
what he
yeah.
did?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm
Yep.
telling you,
So we're-
Elvis is just the greatest guy in Derby.
Doing
Great
all
dude.
right. We'll be getting in touch with him, but we'll come back in just a minute after we run through some ads, and we'll be talking with Mike Brown and catching up a little bit later on with Elvis Thumb. But Bernard, man, congratulations on the growth of the show so far, and keep it up. We look forward to talking with you again soon.
All right, thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks,
Yeah.
man. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, see you then.
And we will be right back after this.
Capital City Carnage will kick off the 2016 schedule for Ultimate Derby, paying $30,000 to win. The show is open to only 100 cars with slightly lighter build specs than Blizzard Bash. The feature field will be set by a series of 10 qualifying heats, and only around 20 cars will make the A-main. The Elite program will open the season for Ultimate Derby, which will close the year right back in Topeka, Kansas Expo Center with the 2016 Blizzard Bash. But first, we'll crown the champion of Capital City Carnage April 29th to 30th in downtown Topeka. For more, visit www.capitalcitycarnage.com. Kings of Old School returns for their second installment of Spring Chaos, June 11th and 12th at the Broome County Fairgrounds in Whitney Point, New York. Last year, it was Jonathan Furr coming away with the inaugural title. The show promises as much action as last year, springing into a 2-day format for the first time. Rules and payout are posted online at kingsofoldschool.net. The Kings of Old School team event will be center stage again, moving to the Delaware County Fairgrounds in Walton, New York, as part of the Kings of Old School Regional Championship program, September 4th and 5th. The county and event winners from around the Northeast will be eligible to run during this championship event. For more details, again, jump online and visit kingsofoldschool.net or visit the group on Facebook. Smash It Demolition Derbies has partnered with Crash Course for the duration of the 2016 season. Offering more than 40 shows throughout Ohio, they are the promotion group that oversees the annual Bash for Cash. Scheduled for May 27th to the 29th, the Memorial Day Weekend Classic is now 3 days long and will feature 3 main events paying in excess of $10,000 to each of 3 drivers. The DEC Header Compact run Friday night with their feature set for Sunday paying $10,000. The DerbyTees.com, Turn Back the Clock, and Big Rock near 80s and newer will also pay first place more than $10,000 in each division on Sunday night. Light trucks, youth cars, the wire class, 80s and newer wire class, full-size trucks, street stocks, and 5-foot full-size outlaws for the schedule as the show moves to its new home at the Ross County Fairgrounds in Chillicothe, Ohio. Again, that's the Bash for Cash 2016, May 27th to the 29th in Chillicothe, Ohio. For more on the Bash for Cash,
it's Truck Month at Layton Hills Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. You can get the best deals of the year on all of our Ram trucks in inventory. Plus, if you're a current or past customer at Layton Hills, we're offering you an additional $250 customer loyalty rebate. And if you live in northern Utah, we have an additional $250 Great Neighbor rebate too. So during Truck Month, we have a new 2016 Ram 1500 SLT Crew Cab. And after dealership discounts, customer cash, and Truck Month rebate, it's yours for only $39,115. We're going to take advantage of these savings during Truck Month at Layton Hills Chrysler Dodge
Utah.
Jeep Ram.
Oh, shit. Yeah, okay. I should know where it's from. Okay.
And we're back. Just wanted to say a big thank you to Layton Hills Dodge who's making it possible for us to come out there and hang out with all the folks at
So
Stern
they're letting
Dirt.
me drive a Hellcat from the airport.
It's
That's what you want to tell me.
I don't think that's what I want to tell you.
Oh, they'd have to put new tires on it.
Crossroads Destruction, another show that's coming up. They've got a mid-sized division in here as well. $7,000 to win, 80 chain class, 6th through 10th, $200. Running down to the final days for that early entry fee, $200 through the 31st. Just got about 3 days left on that. It's $400. All points afterwards. Old Iron, $1,500 to win, paying the top 5s, opening the first 20 entries. Same thing with the midsize and stock trucks, opening the first 20 entries, paying the top 5. Rookie 80s and newers, $500 to win, paying the top 5. It's open to 20 entries, but the top 3 have an option of foregoing their purse to go into the main event with the adults and that other the rest of the feature starters for that $7,000 to win feature. Inspections are going to be May the 6th. $50 comes back to you if you pass tech on the first try. It's going to be $25 for each retech attempt. It's May the 6th and 7th at the Freeborn County Fairgrounds in Albert Lee. Get a hold of Paul Nielsen at 507-383-6094 if you're looking for more information on Crossroads. Looking forward to getting out there for that. And July the 16th, the Caledonia Crash and Jam Festival. Going to be at the Livingston County Fairgrounds in Caledonia, New York. Compacts are $1,100 to win, $350 per second, $200 to start the feature. That's from 5th on down. Full size, $1,400 to win, $450 per second, $300 to start the feature from 5th on down. Junk run, $500 to win. More than $7,800 total in prize money. On the line, Ken Swingle's overseeing that one. 585-447-7939. That's 585-447-7939. Got a Facebook page dedicated for that one now as well. Joining us on the hotline, you probably heard him chatting a little bit when we were coming back from the break. I want to say hello to Mike Brown. Thanks for coming on and joining us.
What's up, guys?
What's going on, Mike?
The man, Mike.
Can we hear Mike all right? Let's see. Yeah, we should be okay.
What are you doing, Chris?
Just making sure.
Don't hang up on him.
You're
Yeah,
having
we don't
some
want to hang up on Mike.
difficulties over there.
We have learned that the whereabouts of Mike Brown's famous Cadillac, which was questioned as to whether it did or did not even exist, the whereabouts have been found, Mike, and it is no longer in your shop.
Well, it's still in the shop.
Oh, it's still there? But it's on the way someplace else?
Do what?
It's on the way someplace else?
Well, it's going somewhere else, but right at the moment it's still sitting in the shop
My understanding is that
until it gets cleaned up.
this Cadillac needs to have a fresh coat of wax put on it, and then it's going to be
No.
it's going to be the raffle car at Capital City Carnage.
Oh, I gotta buy tickets.
Yeah, there's going to be a bunch of people that's going to be blown away when they find out. But yes, he did boss it in. It's going to be the raffle car. There'll be a lot of people interested to be able to drive it, try to, whatever. And it is going to be same setup, 5-speed. You know, everything of mine is in that car.
It Decker's too much of a wuss to drive up there, so I'm gonna buy his tickets. He already said he'll never drive out there. The cars are too hard.
I mean, came across this information today, and I couldn't believe it. So started sending some messages around and got some pictures. I think this is awesome. This is going to be a game changer for whoever gets this raffle car, because that's got to be the best raffle car that's ever been offered, right?
Oh yeah.
This thing was
Yeah, that race right up there. That's like one of the best.
No doubt.
with the 5-speed.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
What kind of challenges is that going to offer? Somebody?
It was bought as is, turnkey. So just like it was going to go to Blizzard Bash, it's how they will be driving.
Man.
Imagine backing that thing up to
Man.
the wall and just holding it on the boards and going through the gears like Mike Brown,
Man.
hitting somebody about
You have
40.
Well, don't you have to start in second? You launch in second gear, right?
Yeah, launch in second because
Those are the
first you
rules.
just spin.
You just hit the
It
rev
just
limiter.
depends on the track on what gear you start with.
Man.
Muddy, yeah, start out in second. But if it's dry, start out in first and just start shifting gears quick as you can.
Inside the cockpit, it's going to like somebody driving a pro stock.
Oh, yeah.
Click,
click. Yeah, hold on.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice. That is awesome.
I think.
And I just myself found out this morning or this afternoon that was what it was actually going to be for.
Wow.
It was kind of a shock to me, when I found out.
News travels fast.
So, Mike, are you going to buy tickets?
Yeah.
Do I?
Are you buying tickets, Mike?
Oh, I'll buy a couple tickets.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Now here's something to think about. Mike Brown in Capital City Cartage in the feature in his own built car, fresh.
Well, I don't.
Everybody would probably think it was rigged if it did happen that
exactly.
way, but
I don't think.
assure you it wouldn't be.
I'll tell you what, though.
Tell you what, if I won a ticket, I'd give it to you, Mike.
Boy, absolutely. Without a
I
doubt.
would accept it. If anybody wanted to give it to me, I'd accept it and drive
Oh, hell yes.
Could you imagine how hard Mike could drive that thing in the feature against pre-run cars?
Oh, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
Oh, man.
Now, if anybody's not up to speed on this, if I remember everything correctly, this is a 1970 Cadillac, correct?
It's a 69
The 69. The 69. Yes,
Frame.
there was. I learned a lot in a very short amount of time
71
outside
body.
69 frame and a 71 body.
Yep.
And what's so special about the 69 versus everything else that people are talking about?
Nothing. It's just the 71 that I had the frame was rusty, so I just replaced it with 69 frame that I had. It was good.
Awesome.
On a Cadillac, you can't be choosy. You got to pick up whatever you can, and you might get a good body on this deal. You might get a good frame on this deal, so you just buy them and eventually go find a home for them.
Absolutely. Especially for the fab man that Mike Brown is. He makes stuff go together nicely, so it all works out in the end.
Fits like a glove.
Just like the factory intended to.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's 2 years removed.
Yeah, it's close enough.
People won't be able to tell the difference regardless.
Nope, not at all.
No. Just like your LP car, they didn't know what the hell they were looking at.
Nope. Just like the limo that Mike shortened up and was sending people out of the ballpark with. It couldn't tell that wasn't built like that originally.
Yeah, did you ever, Mike, you must have ran that, it would have been, 2 years ago, when you had your LP car there. Did you end up running that somewhere else after Blizzard Bash?
The car that I had down there, what did I do with that? No, I ended up selling it.
Oh, man.
The LP.
I couldn't remember
The LP
I had
is.
to remember, but yeah, I ended up selling it. It went through all kinds of hands. CJ Barnes ended up with it after somebody else ended up with it. Then
Right.
Jason Grismore actually ended up with it. Ran quite a few UD shows last year. With
Nice.
Quite a few.
Yeah,
Quite a
no,
few.
that was a hard car.
Yeah.
Them guys
Yes, it
didn't.
was.
Them guys
I've got
didn't-
another one sitting back in the weeds just waiting.
Did you hear that?
Them guys
Yep.
didn't have a clue what they were looking at on that car.
Nope.
That was
There's not very many of them around. I just happened to stumble on a few of them.
Yep.
Nice.
natural gas car, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And those are better yet than the P71s.
Oh,
Yes.
gee, 10 times better.
It's
got the
better
tow
than
package?
the P71.
Yeah, 10 times better.
Yeah. It's the equivalent of the tow package.
It's
It
the
had all
equivalent of the
HD
Secret
stuff,
Service
plus
package.
The factory add-ons on the Hums.
Yep.
Yep.
So what are you expecting, Mike, at Capital City Carnage? What are you expecting to see? Are we going to see just Cadillac after Cadillac rolling in there, or are we going to see a mix?
I don't think so.
No?
I think you're going to have a mix of 03s, Cadillacs, and a lot of 9802 still.
Yeah.
What would you build to take there, Mike?
Don't specifically favor any certain car right now, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
If you were running Capital City Carnage, what would you build, Mike?
That's a dumb question, bud. Come on now.
I just wanted to see if maybe it changed.
Well, no. If I was to build one, it'd be an 03 and there.
That's what I figured. I just wasn't
So
sure.
I had my messages blowed up. People asking me, "Hey, what would you take? How would you do it?" Blah blah blah. And I've helped quite a few people so far as just information.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Well, I assumed it would be an
Quite a
03.
few that's taken them.
I assumed it would be an 03, but I figured I would ask. So.
Oh yeah. I'll still take an 03 over a Cadillac or anything else.
Yeah, you're.
I've built so many of them that it's like second nature to me to throw them together.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's like you with Town and Country Wagons.
Yeah, that one I built was fun. The one I built was fun.
Almost the same. I thought you had two. You had a gold one and you had the...
One Town and Country.
What was the other wagon? Monaco wagon?
Yeah, I had silver Monaco wagon. Oh my God, you are the raid man. I ran that once in a heat. Once in a heat and once in a feature. Then Ben ended up with it.
Ben fixed it?
No, I don't think he ever ran it.
No, it went to junkyard.
Yeah.
I had big plans.
Junkyard or actual junkyard?
No, really got junked.
Yeah.
Got junked. So, Mike, what shows do you plan on running this year?
As of right now, I'm not planning on running any. There might be one surprise, at the end of the year. But as of right now,
Yeah.
I'm not running any myself around home or anything. I'm putting on 2 of my local county fairs. I am putting on their shows.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, okay.
And I'm incorporated with Damage Inc. And we're going to do a point system.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And we got 9 shows total that we're running between their shows and mine. I've got 2 at Griggsville, 3 at Pleasant Hill, and then they've got 4 down in Jersey County, Calhoun County, that area.
Cool.
Yeah, so you're definitely going to be staying busy.
Oh, yeah, you're going to be busier than hell.
Oh, yeah.
And again, we see the
You guys,
driver.
a lot of you guys know what it's like. And on top of it, I'm doing it free just to help out my local counties because our shows are dwindling down and something's got to be done.
Right.
That's awesome.
But
Well, I
same thing,
hope
drivers coming in and making instant changes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm
hopefully.
trying to get as many as I can to help everybody out and get everything back on track.
Well, hopefully, if you decide to have a surprise and run somewhere, it's somewhere we're at. We missed not seeing you run last November, so hopefully, if you run this year, we get to see it.
Well, you might see me run in November. We'll just say that.
That would be awesome.
It'll be a blow to some people's minds, but I'm sure I might be there, and it might just be, one of them deals that nobody's seen before too.
That would be cool.
We'll just leave a bunch of people in suspense about that.
We are.
Yeah.
Boy, that would be nice to
Josh
see.
is jumping up and down on his couch at home right now.
Oh, yeah.
Josh messaged me and he said, "I'm so mad that I didn't come tonight because Mike Brown is my idol."
So where is Josh? I ain't heard him yet.
Yeah, that loudmouth stayed home. He had to go take care of softball stuff tonight with Bailey, so he couldn't make it up.
Always got an excuse.
Yeah. Well, he's famous. You know how that is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can relate.
you'll have that. But, yeah, I think the whole raffle car deal is going to go over really well for him.
Oh,
Yeah, oh,
absolutely.
yeah.
I think it's
And
exciting.
Sam, I'm sure, is listening. And if I'd have known that, I'd have probably charged him more. But he throwed that on me after the deal was done.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I think that's going to be a huge hit.
Absolutely.
There isn't anybody out there in their right mind that wouldn't buy tickets to drive that car.
Absolutely. I wouldn't because I know how hard them things are. But I mean, that's.
I don't give a shit. There's a Walmart, Tractor Supply. There's rolls of duct tape. You look like a freaking mummy out there. You duct tape it up, back brace, duct tape it up. In the words of, was it Chad?
Chad Markley?
No, Chad Rhodes.
Oh, Chad
Rhodes. Get your tube of Vagisil and get out there and go.
Wow, Ben's on fire tonight.
Yeah.
Yikes!
But I mean, that's you. I mean, think about the. I mean, that's a real good shot at winning $30,000 right there.
Yeah, and that's. I don't give a shit. That's worth driving around in a rascal for at least 10 years.
All you got to do is get in, hold on, and just stab it to the floor and shift gears.
Yep.
It's all easy.
Get in, buckle up, and put her to the wood.
Somebody's going to be doing
What I
that.
am going to say, though, with any car, especially a Cadillac, it still has to be drove right.
Oh,
You're right.
yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah,
for
sure.
For the back end to roll right and everything, I
Yep.
mean, you still got to pick your hits. I mean, a bad hit's going to make it go wacko.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just something that nobody's going to be able to tell what the back end's going to do if the person that gets it don't know what they're doing.
Yep.
Right.
Which, I'll explain to them or help them, but I can't drive it for them while they're out there,
No,
They
yeah.
gave
If you
you-
get somebody who can't drive a wheelbarrow, it's going to go bonkers.
If
Yeah.
they gave you their ticket, you could drive it.
Exactly. I mean, I can show them how to drive it real quick.
Yeah.
Mike will be standing by the car. If you want, I'll be sure to hold that ticket for you, show you how to drive it.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I would love
that
to
is
see
that is
'Cause, I mean,
just
with
awesome.
this car is such a thing of legend. Anyway, after everything from November, the fact that was it not there, was it actually even built, was it done, wasn't it done, and now here it is. You want to
Ready to
know?
go.
Here it is, and here's the keys too.
It's alive.
It's alive.
That's awesome.
It was alive and well then, and it's alive and well now.
And nothing's changed.
No.
So it's going to be able
It's in my
to
shop this whole time, sitting in the corner.
Nice.
Watching the-
pull in, go through inspection just fine, and somebody gets to drive it.
That's
Yep.
crazy.
Yep.
And after going through inspection and everything down there with a couple other cars that was built identical to mine, there's only 3 things that's got to be changed, and they're all minor stuff that can be done within half an hour.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't super overbuild, and everybody knows that. I went to DI shows, I went to UD shows, and the most I've had to cut is up to a half an hour.
Mike said everything
People
that
say
can be
you ain't
fixed.
trying if you ain't cutting. Well, I just say not cut. I mean, I spend enough time working on the car. I don't want to go there and sit there and cut for a couple hours.
Mike said everything is minor and can be fixed in a half hour. So anybody else that has to fix it, roughly 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could be.
Oh, he's got a real good point. I mean,
Yeah.
when you spend all that time building them cars, I mean, that's the last thing I've ever wanted to do is get to the track and have them guys. You got to butcher the shit out of it, and that's there's that fine line. You know what I mean? There's that fine line where you hear the term, well, if you're not cutting, you're not competing.
Yeah.
Well, you can be highly competitive and not cut much.
Crossroads, you get money back if you pass on the first inspection. Reckless Warriors Tour, you got bonus points if you pass on
I'd
the
never
first
get
time.
money back.
Oh.
And I've landed all mine up, and the end of the Derby on every one with any build that I've done.
Yep.
So I mean, it has nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
But the rules are built over the rules, regardless. You still got to drive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
That's what we've said a million times on here is, you can buy the best of everything, but if you can't drive, then it doesn't do anything for you. I mean, you're gonna have a more expensive piece of junk when you get done because
there's guys. I mean, there's guys. There's guys around here. I mean, there's guys that I know that got boatloads of cash. They would call, hey, Mike Brown, build me a car.
Yep.
And it'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna win every derby I run, and they can't drive a wheelbarrow.
Yep.
So it's like you spend all that money.
I have been to one show that was a pro mod show, and it was Spring Explosion here back in '09 with that caddy limo. And I was told when we went through inspection that they didn't want to hear me crying afterwards because I was underbuilt. Pretty sure my car left the track the same identical looking way that it went on the track, and still on the show.
I was going to say, and you took the trophy and money home with you, so that works out good in the end.
That's where you have a
I
nice.
took the Mad Dog in the first place.
Yeah, in the roles were reversed. They were all probably crying because your car looked the same.
Yep.
Yep.
And there was a Mopar that kind of looked like it was split in half.
Oh,
I remember that.
Robo's
Yeah.
car.
Yeah.
Robo's car.
Yeah.
That thing got ripped right open.
Yeah.
Like a can opener.
Yep.
Yeah.
That thing got, yeah.
It was a combination of all kinds of different hits, and it all led to that. But
Yep.
my car still looked the same when it left, and I was told that I was underbuilt, and they didn't want to hear me crying after. So, but
You get that, but that just
That made the
for
victory
you,
all that more sweet.
Well, yeah, and for Mike, I mean that's just there's nothing more satisfying than that. It's like
exactly.
That's awesome.
No doubt.
That is awesome.
No doubt.
It's kind of like the old saying: "There's more than what meets the eye."
Exactly. Yep.
For sure.
It ain't always everything that's visual right there in your sight.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure.
It's awesome.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
No doubt.
Yep. Sam messaged again, and we hit on this with Crossroads as well. And if you don't pass on the first round, you have to pay more to go through tech again. Let me make sure that I got that correctly. Yeah, $50 returned if passing tech on the first try. Each additional pass attempt is going
That's
to
a
be
Crossroads.
$25. That's a Crossroads. Yeah.
Yeah,
I just want to make sure that what I was saying was accurate. I got confused there when I got that message from Sam. But yeah, Mike, I'm looking forward to catching up with you when we get to Capital City Carnage. We're looking forward to seeing you again.
Yeah.
All right.
You guys just give me a holler, buddy. I'll be around.
All right, Mike.
Hey, that's simple.
See you out there, man.
Well, be prepared for Josh to be following you all over the place. He's going to be asking you
I'll
more.
come talk to you.
Awesome. Well, excellent news about hearing that the car is going to be out there as the raffle car. I think that's going to be a huge boon to the show, and it's all your stuff. Hopefully, everything isn't in shattered pieces when you get it back. If you get it back.
I don't get none of it back.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
That's right. Yeah,
sold
yeah,
it.
yeah. You said that. You said that.
Turnkey.
So, yeah, that makes a little bit more sense. But in any case.
It's going to be his second setup, or they're going to use it for a raffle car setup all from thereafter. So
Nice.
That's
What's
cool.
wrong there?
No.
I got to start from fresh and start building new. So
Well, get
There you go.
that LP car out of the weeds.
it'll be all right. A little bit.
Awesome, Mike. Well, I appreciate you coming on and hanging out with us for a little while. It's always good to talk to you.
You guys do. You guys have a good one.
We'll
Yeah,
see you
you
later.
too, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Later, guys.
There goes Mike Brown. We got a little bit of battery life left, so what I'm going to do real quick is pull up.
Dude, that's
Elvis.
just wicked cool.
Imagine
Wicked
that.
awesome. Mike Brown built car. I mean, it's just. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he's just one of many.
Oh, yeah.
Great builders.
Yep.
But man, it's somebody's eyes are gonna light right up when their ticket's drawn.
You ain't kidding.
That's just awesome.
Absolutely.
Elvis joining us here. Elvis dropping the prices on the E2 demolition sliders, and he's got some other stuff going on up at Crossroads as well. Elvis, I'm going to kind of turn the reins over to you first, just so that we can get into the conversation. I know that you're on a real tight schedule tonight because you got the night shift as well.
Yeah, I'm on my way there actually now. Trying to get pulled over here.
Well, don't get pulled over. If you get in a jam, just explain to the
This
officer.
side of the road here.
So we saw online that the supplier of all your raw materials has reduced the cost to you to produce stuff, and in turn you have decided to drop the cost by $25 on your sliders.
Yep, I'm able to drop the price down to $350 now instead of $375 on them.
I think that's
That's awesome.
remarkable. I mean, you don't see that.
No.
Yeah, Elvis. I mean, I was actually, I didn't, we don't know what we're doing until we get here. Chris is the one that plans everything. But I just, I was going to touch on the fact that, there's not many guys that build parts or, guys that are in business in general that get a, that they the prices go down on materials and they pass that on to consumers. And I just think it's absolutely a great thing that you're doing. And, I touched earlier and said that you were just a great guy for doing that and, helping guys out, making things a little more affordable. So as a Derby guy, I want to thank you for doing that. That is just such an awesome thing that you pass it on to your customers and your future customers.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, it just seems like the right thing to do. I'm guessing it's probably has something to do with the price of metal being where it's at and everything else. But I figure if I can get the price down from them, no reason I can't pass it on to a customer. So
Why not?
Yeah,
That's so
absolutely.
awesome.
And on top of that, you're donating, if I remember this correctly, you're donating a slider to the Cancer Center in Albert Lea up in Minnesota. Raffle tickets are going to be sold by the Derby crew, and all the proceeds are going to go to their Cancer Center. It's all going to be done at Crossroads.
yeah. I'll have a extra slider with me. They're going to take care of the raffle, all the money. I'm not sure what they're doing for tickets, ticket pricing, or whatever. But all the proceeds are going to go to the Cancer Center at Albert Lea to help out the people that are down there. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Real cool. Excited to be. I mean, those guys are such good people up there.
Absolutely.
All the time.
Yep.
All the
it was
time.
a good show last year. Had a good turnout. Everything worked out good. So
Well, we're looking forward to getting back up there. I think it's going to be a ton of fun. Again, the chain class is something that we always get a ton of fun out of because you never really know what those cars are going to do.
Yeah.
They could go ugly ways, or they could hold together real nice, and it's a ball to get up there. Always good to see Matt Ertman and Paul too.
Yep, absolutely.
yeah, that all turns down into knowing how to drive the car too.
We touched on that
one. Yep.
I'm a big fan of learning how to drive a car before you go out with a tank. But
Yep.
it's just my opinion. But
you can go online and you can find all the tips on how to build a car, and you can go online, you can find all the best parts, and you can put it together. If you don't know how to put it together, then it doesn't matter how much money you spend on it or how much time you spend building it. If you don't know how to put it together and you don't know how to drive it, you're in for a really, really rough day.
Absolutely.
If you put it together right and you still don't know how to drive it, you're still going to turn your stuff inside out.
Driving talent's what separates guys.
Exactly. One bad shot on your car by yourself driving will ruin a whole car.
Absolutely.
There's so many shows we've been to that you see these awesome built cars. I mean, premier, top-notch built cars, and the guy puts himself,
bad spot.
Puts himself on a berm, puts himself up on the blocks,
hits with a corner and bends the rail.
Doesn't think of 2 or 3 shots after the shot he's taken, and they just pin him in the corner. So I mean, absolutely 100% agree with you.
Yep.
We got a message for Elvis that just came in from Brewster Pepper, whose ID says that they are a boss at the National Aeronautics and Space Administration in Mexico, Missouri. So I think one of those things is probably inaccurate. Brewster wants to know if E2 plans on getting into making sliders for compacts.
Not fully myself. I have somebody else who's in the process of getting into for W bodies.
Okay.
And then I'll be helping supply the tubing and stuff like that. I can't quite say a whole lot on it.
Right. Too early?
They're still in the machining process and stuff, but trying to get things lined up and working and but
I see.
it sounds like it's going to be a real good addition, though.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Excellent. Elvis, I know you said you're on a real tight schedule. You got to get to the night shift. I don't want to make you late, but wanted to make sure that we gave you a little bit of time. I think that's awesome what you're doing to pass those savings on to the end consumers for those drive shafts.
All right. Well, thank you for having me on.
Yeah, for
and,
sure.
Another note, if somebody doesn't want the slider at Crossroads, I'll gladly give them the $350 cash if they buy a ticket and win it and don't want the slider.
Okay.
Perfect. Well,
okay. Awesome.
We'll keep that in mind as we're talking about the stuff with Albert Lea over the next couple of weeks, because that show's coming up
quick,
just as quick.
It's
all right around the corner. Elvis, man, thanks a ton. It's good to hear from you. We look forward to catching up with you here in a couple of weeks.
All right. Talk to you guys later.
See you soon. Bye now. another handful. Hey, we beat the battery too. Awesome. It's always good when that works out.
Absolutely.
Another handful of fantasy league teams. Again, there's a fantasy league. There it is.
No, battery's dead.
Just like that. Let's see. We'll throw this up here one more time. Next week, Sam Williams is going to be joining us on the show.
Cool.
We'll be able to talk a little bit about the roster. We'll see if any names get added to the current working roster for
Awesome. I got a couple things to ask him.
for Capital City Carnage.
Cool.
You can get your fantasy league team put in now, and we've already at this point I think we're already over 75, and it hasn't even been out there for 24 hours. So hopefully that trend slows down a little bit because we do have school after this week.
I think you should keep her open to the first seat.
I'm not doing that. Absolutely not.
At least
No
you
way.
get to the airport.
No.
You got to have something to do on a plane.
Yeah. What do you do on the plane? Listen to
Sleep.
Josh?
Sleep. Listen to
That's
Josh.
overrated.
Listen to Josh. I do end up listening to Josh a lot.
Yeah.
Listen to Josh sleep.
Yeah. Yeah. Chris
that.
and Josh are usually the first ones out.
I love sleeping on a plane.
Don't want to know when you die?
Nope.
Just checking.
Nope. The thing is I'm pretty sure I'll be aware of it because as
People start
You
screaming.
get slapped in the head with the air, the oxygen
yeah,
mask.
that's where I was gonna go with it. Brian went right to the sheer terror of plummeting 30,000 feet, but I was thinking
35.
35. Perfect. Thank you.
Well,
Thank
we
you.
might have some wind shears out there. You know, they have some pretty good storms out that way.
Especially the spring.
Shut up. What are you doing?
A little 20, 30-foot drop.
We'll just have to stop at the bar on the way out.
But anyways, we're going to talk more about the entry list and who's running, who's not. I'll tell you right now, an early favorite for the hobo class is Rick Kunkel. He is on so many of the lists that have come in already. And
What's the hobo? Is that more of a stock? I haven't really
Yeah.
looked at the rules, but is that, I'm assuming, more of a stock build?
yeah,
Cool.
exactly. Yep. I've heard Tim Lang's name come up a lot in the elite modified class. So I'm going to be kind of keeping an eye on how that progresses as well. This is going to be very, very interesting.
Absolutely.
It'll be just like the NFL draft out in the pits.
And, Terry Sowersby's name has kind of
Daniel Ort's running the elite.
Daniel Ort's in the elite division. Yep, we're gonna get a little bit deeper into that entry list stuff when we catch up with Sam here next week. But good show tonight.
Absolutely.
It was a real
Good to have Ben back.
Yes.
Primo, back in herself. Yeah. Getting work done.
Yeah.
Gotta get a little bit more talkative, but hey, I'm getting there.
You're good.
You did a nice job tonight. Very chatty. I think you must have gotten 6 or 7. Tally was high. It was good.
Right back in
Christy
the,
King.
Chris, your
Right back
collar
in the
probably
groove.
burn up on it.
right back in the groove.
Right.
It's not like it. That's just the way I talk. I mean, if people are listening and thinking, "Oh, he's just doing it just to do it," no, ask these guys. This is
Nope.
mild compared to what I normally talk. I cut back.
Work with a bunch of guys. This stuff
I've been in an inspection line where Ben uses the F word as a verb, adjective, and noun at the same time in one sentence.
Yeah, I've seen that.
You know,
And that's talking to people. That's just saying hello.
No,
That's just
absolutely.
talking about the weather. It has nothing to do.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, maybe Ben will have some company on the couch next week. Maybe Josh will make the way up so we can talk with Sam a little bit, and
Yeah.
maybe we'll track down another
Have
one of the
you worked
builders.
on getting the limo for him to bring him up weekly, or have we not been working on that as much?
Yeah, I made a phone call to a limo company. Actually, it's funny you should bring that up. Made a phone call, and I said I really need some help getting a guy from Whitney Point up to Seneca Falls
we do
every Monday
realize
night.
who does have a limo.
And
A couple of Josh's closest little friends.
oh, really?
The Wilkins brothers got a limo.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Would that be
you gotta-
funny?
Are they going to cut that down into a 2-door and run through the back of a wagon again?
That's too much work for them.
That'd be crazy.
They might stand it up on his trunk and try to drive through it.
Yeah,
Why
that
not?
Might happen.
Why not? All it takes is somebody to say, "I bet you can't." Somebody will try it.
Absolutely.
But, I asked if we could get a guy from Whitney Point to Seneca Falls on a Monday night, and this is going to be a recurring regular gig. And then I told him that it was for Josh. And he said, "Nope, not interested. We heard of that guy."
That hurts, man. You'd think
I
if they
couldn't
heard
do
of him, they'd want to do it for
No,
free.
they're afraid that if they show up with a Cadillac limo, he's going to take the wheel and start blasting people on the ride up.
Let's not get crazy now.
Hey, they're just going off the conversation they heard on the show.
Oh, okay. Well, at least I listen to the show.
Okay.
Why not?
That's a
right?
bonus.
He's going to wreck my car. Was the final word.
Well, you do have one in your yard that we definitely can wreck.
We're not wrecking that.
We can knock the windows out of it, put a subframe in it.
What I really want to do is get that back up on its feet. I got the tires for it now. We got the brake stuff straightened out. I really want to get it back on the road. And
It's at 8 3/4. They make a pinion brake.
Thank you. Thank you.
Is that going to be our cruise in the Derby vehicle?
I would like to take it to a couple local shows this year.
No, I meant to like Bash for Cash.
No.
You wouldn't drive that to Bash for Cash?
Nope. Nope.
Wow.
I can't
Trying to
afford.
convince Hunter to. He might. I don't know. I got him close. He might be rolling in a 67 or 8.
That would be cool. A friend of mine, Justin Gilmartin, or Josh Gilmartin.
Yeah, don't make that mistake.
Josh bought himself a 66 Chrysler Imperial road car. Baby blue. Oh, it's a beautiful car. And I said, Josh has ran a few times. I said, now how long are you going to run this before you knock the windows out of it? It's going to be a while. But, I mean, he bought himself a beautiful car. Mm-hmm. And I thought, like Benson, now that my kids are old enough to be out of car seats, they could ride in a nice Imperial. So I'd like to have an Imperial as a road car. That'd be terrific. But
It'd probably get better gas mileage than your Dodge truck.
no, that thing gets great gas mileage.
Does it?
Yeah.
Explain that to my wife. There's a really nice blue Dodge pickup over at Crew Cab, over at Cramps.
Listen, can I explain something to you?
What?
It is better
Do
to ask for forgiveness than it is permission.
It's also important when you go to a car dealership to ask for a cosigner.
Details.
Because I can't get it on my own.
Josh Decker will pay cash for it for you.
Nope.
Then you
Negative,
pay him back.
Negative. I know exactly how that would work out.
You know some guys you could probably,
I know.
finagle stuff.
I'd like to get a truck just because we are out of space in the minivan again. You just can't.
Yeah, but if we take a truck, then you got to buy a tonneau cover to go over the back.
$130 tonneau cover to get all the extra space in the back.
Or cap.
That's where I was going. I was thinking get a cap on
Get a
it.
cap. If I still had the big
'cause
diesel,
then-
we'd been all set.
Honestly,
Then we could have somebody.
the Hemi gets real good gas mileage, honestly, and now they run, once you get to like 60, they run on 4 cylinders.
Yeah.
So they're
Sounds like it's skipping.
they run. I mean, like when we're on a road trip, obviously they'd run on 8 when Ben's driving because Ben's
You
Ben's
get
hammered
about
down.
15 miles a gallon.
Yeah, but
When
once
you drive it,
My Hemi Dodge I had when I had it, it was supposed to get 18 to 20 miles a gallon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I drove it to Gatlinburg and to pick up Deuce, and it put premium gas in it, and we set the cruise control, and it got like 15 miles a gallon.
mine gets like 17.
That was running 80.
Yeah.
Back
I was running to 80.
No, I liked my Dodge. It's just the fuel mileage was.
They've definitely gotten better though, because I know guys that have Chevys.
There's guys that
And they
got
don't get-
6.4 Hemis that get better mileage than what my Dodge was getting.
Yeah.
Well, it's.
It is what it is.
All
Is
things to
what
talk
it is.
about.
We need a Charger, Challenger.
No,
something like that.
Okay.
I had the Magnum, and that thing was terrible in
You
the
need
snow.
a 392 Charger. It's right down the street.
Negative. Nope.
4-door.
$700 a month. Why not?
No,
What's the?
298.
I got a lot that I was still on the van.
Listen, this is what you do.
This
All you
will
gotta
be
do is
brilliant.
if you bend the roof pillars, you'll total it and pay it off. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah.
Spin the roof pillar.
Put us on the
Just
roof.
bend the roof pillars.
Put it on the roof.
I'll total it.
Just gotta take the air.
So
out
I
of that
drive around with the
rear wheel and
helmet.
Start throwing to the corners, right?
So I
Absolutely.
take down by my don't worry, down my road.
Right off
Right
that.
to- right to
straight.
You just
It
pitch
can't be any
It's a
worse than
nice-
riding with Jeremy Gully.
It's a nice slope right there.
Let's be honest. You're not going to be any more sore after that wreck than riding with Jeremy
I
Gully.
just got to make sure I don't die.
You just
Right.
got to prep yourself. You
Yeah.
got to wear your.
You hunch
checkers.
down in the seat,
Yeah.
hold on to the bottom of the steering wheel, tuck your legs up, just elbows tight, and hold on, man, just like a
Close
sprint car.
Like a sprint car.
You got all sorts of airbags.
Yeah,
do. They're
that's
all
got
airbags
it's got
in it.
curtain. You're golden, man.
It's fine.
And it's old enough. It blows all the airbags. They'll total it anyway.
Yeah,
It's 2013. That's junk if those airbags go off.
yeah, absolutely.
I've
There
just
you
been
go.
hoping for a deer.
No, because that'll go right over your bumper. You never hit a. Very rarely do you hit a deer with a bumper unless you got a big truck.
Be a windshield.
Yeah, that would be
When I hit
Unless
the
you
deer,
grill hood
sideways.
windshield. Yeah,
when I hit the deer with the Avenger, I had my silver Avenger. The deer, it was a big doe. It shoulder blocked the left front headlight, and then when it came through, it cleaned off the grill and the core support and the radiator and the other headlight, and it snapped the latch, the little aluminum latch that held the hood down. So the windshield came up immediately, or the hood came up immediately, smashed the windshield, it wrapped the roof, put a big dent in the roof, and it was
Did
crazy.
you eat the deer?
Huh?
Did you eat the deer?
No, that one got opened up a little bit.
That was pretty
yeah.
tore up.
But when the troopers showed up, I had it in a headlock.
Choking it out?
The trooper showed up and goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "I've got it subdued. This person just, tried to." I thought it was funny. He didn't.
He did.
I did.
He did.
No. He said, if you can drive this away, you won't get any citations or anything like that. So I used a ratchet strap, held the hood down, and drove it to the parking ride by 90 by Palmyra, and that's where we met the flatbed from Stevers, and we towed it out from there.
Nice.
It was a rough ride. Did the same thing with my Magnum when the steering wheel was like that after we went through the alfalfa field.
And this is why Chris Marquardt doesn't drive on road trips. Any more stories you got to tell, or
Lots. We'll talk all day about wrecking cars.
again?
Half of this stuff, that was just timing. The deer was timing. When I got blasted in the back by that Chevy in my Beretta, I was holding still, and it took and just wrapped the whole back end of the Beretta around.
Yeah, but a good driver would have saw it coming and got out of the way.
I was gonna have to
Or
steer
threw it in
on
reverse and shorten the distance.
There you go.
That too.
What I did is I stiffened up as stiff as I could, braced my arms against the steering wheel, and
that
put
hurt
both feet
worse.
on the brake pedal.
How'd that work out for you?
Bounce your head off the roof.
Don't really remember, do you?
Nah, it's just I've had a lot of concussions too.
Yeah, we talked about that at the plane too.
All right, let's get out of here.
Let's take a fork.
Enough of this. We'll be back here next week. Stan Williams will be coming on the show. Hopefully Josh Decker will be joining us too. Fantasy League for Capital Carnage. Entries are open. Feel free to jump online. Brandon Tyson, thanks for the comments. Appreciate that. You're obviously not my best friend anymore. That's going to do it for this edition of the Crash Course. We'll see everybody next week.
The Crash Course Podcast is brought to you in part by DerbyParts.com. The 2015 Wadena Grand Slam. Boat Lockwood Motorsports and the 2015 Keystone National. Syopa Racing and SyopaRacing.com. Ultimate Derby and Blizzard Bash 2015. Demo Derby Masters. Reckless Abandon Derby Apparel at RecklessAbandonGear.com. And Derby Inc. Magazine. Live it, breathe it, be it, Derby Inc. This is the Crash Course Demolition Derby podcast, recorded live at the FingerLinks1.com studios in downtown Seneca Falls, New York.